President Trump repeatedly promised he would not cut Social Security benefits. What he's doing instead, though, is cutting people off from accessing those benefits. The Social Security Administration announced new measures that will make it harder for millions of people who rely on the program to receive their money. Beginning March 31st, recipients will no longer be able to verify their identities over the phone to apply for Social Security or speak to a representative about their benefits. Currently, about 40% of all claims are made over the phone. So this is going to be a massive disruption. Instead, recipients will be required to use an online system or to make an appointment to visit a regional Social Security office in person. Now, the people who rely on the program the most are elderly and disabled, and often lack reliable internet access or just don't know how to use it, and also have mobility issues that could impede a visit to an office. According to the site Popular Information, an internal memo at the Social Security Administration predicted that these new changes would create chaos and, quote, challenges for vulnerable populations. To make matters worse, Acting Social Security Commissioner Leland Dudek has laid out plans to simultaneously cut thousands of staff and close dozens of regional offices. Already, it takes about a month to schedule an in-person visit to a Social Security office, and the internal memo estimates that getting rid of phone verification would add an additional 75,000 to 85,000 in-person visits a week to offices that are already cutting staff, and in some cases, offices that won't exist anymore. The memo predicts that there will be, quote, service disruptions. So these are benefits that people have worked most of their lives for, and now when they need to access them, they might have to wait months for an appointment or drive 100 miles to the nearest office. Why is this happening? Because Elon Musk has claimed that there's rampant fraud in the program. First, he claimed that millions of dead people were receiving benefits. That was debunked. Now he's claiming that fraudsters are scamming the Social Security Administration over the phone, something there's also no evidence of because there are several safeguards in place to verify people's identities over the phone and then cross-reference them with existing information that the government has off the phone call. 99% of Social Security payments are made accurately, and the small percentage that aren't are usually corrected immediately. And people who do fraud the system are usually caught and prosecuted. So then why is this really happening? Well, first, just by cutting staff and closing offices, that puts more money in the pool for Trump to give tax cuts to the rich and pay deportation agents to round people up. But mainly, this is happening because Trump and Musk want to break Social Security so that they can ultimately privatize it for Wall Street. It's hard to do that right now when the program works and is reliably paying out benefits to recipients. But if you break it by blocking people from using the phone, forcing them to make in-person visits to offices that are being shut down and understaffed, and ultimately overwhelm the system until people can no longer reliably access their benefits, well, then it becomes easier to make the argument, see, Social Security isn't working, we need to try something else. In a way, this is how the right approaches the government in general. Run it like crap, then campaign on it being crap, and call for it to be dismantled and privatized. The group Social Security Works says these changes are putting the program in grave danger. Hey, thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of our new videos. Also, if you want to see Means Morning News in its complete form, not just the clips we post here, head on over to Means TV and get access to all our new episodes and our entire backlog, plus tons of other great movies and original TV shows.